Hi there, and welcome to Graham's Guide Friday Live, this Friday, the 20th of May. Let's get straight into it. And look, first off, congratulations to everybody who submitted assignment two. Regardless of the mark you achieved, it's an incredible challenge, and we're living in challenging times. And there's a lot to learn for academic writing. It's not just the content that you're learning, but you're learning how to present that content, and also, most importantly, you're learning how to demonstrate your knowledge of what you have learned. And that's probably the best reflection of the marking in your assignment two results. So if you were able to clearly and concisely demonstrate your knowledge of the learning materials that we've provided in this unit, then you would have received a higher grade. If, on the other hand, there was more summary of what you'd learned, and if you had not analyzed the essential readings and provided an evaluation, or if you have not applied uh, the essential readings to your learning, then it's more difficult to demonstrate your knowledge. And if you've only just presented your experiences, and if you did not mention any of the essential readings, then that's another room for improvement, because your experience is important, but it's a handshake. So there's the one hand comes in to meet, that's your experience, and the other part of the handshake is the academic learning, the essential readings, the literature. So these two parts have to come together in order for you to demonstrate your knowledge. So that's what I'm going to be looking at today: how you can demonstrate your knowledge and improve your grades for assignment three, the essay. Let's go to where. So this is the assignments page. Let's go down to assignment three and just have a quick look at the assignment criteria, because there has been this assignment criteria is a little bit different to the assignment criteria for assignment two. Down here, so the reflection itself is worth 40%. So it's important for you it's important to talk about your experience in this unit. The use of theories is 30%. So you can see there, that's the handshake. You're talking about your experience, but we also want you to use learning theories and literature while you're talking about your experience. And this criteria, academic writing, this is now increased to 20%. So we're going to be focusing on your paragraphing and your structure, as well as your spelling and grammar. And 10%, I think this is an increase as well here. Yes, it was 5% in assignment two. So 10% for your sources and referencing. So as you can see, the importance here is on structure and referencing, and of course, using theories from this unit, and above all, um, providing an individual essay. So when we read these essays, we want to see you in the essay. If I'm reading about Graham, if I'm reading Graham's essay, I want to learn something about Graham while I'm reading his essay. I want to learn about his individual experience in this unit, not generalizations. So, don't speak, students learn when they study virtual collaboration. We want to hear about your experience of learning virtual collaboration and provide an example of that, and then link that to a citation to virtual collaboration, or to a reading or some literature about virtual collaboration. Alrighty, so what's my next thing I want to look at here? The assignment discussion board. So if I whiz into here and I can quickly whiz past everyone's posts, to this bit. So I've provided here a sample structure that Tanya provided in the Collaborate session. So we had a Collaborate session, which hopefully you've watched the recording if you didn't attend. And Tanya provided this structure that she has suggested for the essay, and that is having a paragraph, rather having an introduction, followed by 5 body paragraphs and a conclusion. In assignment 2, there were 4 main paragraphs, and the structure of those paragraphs were equally weighted. They were worth 20% each. Now, some people did not provide a relative relative word count. If each of them was worth 40%, you really should spend the same 20%. If each of them was worth 20%, you should spend the same word count on each one. So for those 4 sections, some people wrote 6 or 7 or 800 words on one response, and then that only left 100 or 200 words on the other responses. So for that response where you wrote 7 or 800 words, you may have got a good mark for that. But unfortunately, where you wrote less words for the other responses, you probably noticed that your marks were not as high. And also your marks for structure would not have been as high as you probably wanted. But if you had responded about 400 words for each of those responses in assignment 2, then your structure mark would have been, not bad, probably would have got 10 or 11 for structure. But also each of your responses would have had possibly a higher grade overall. So structuring your essay is also important. So for these 5 paragraphs, I would suggest you try and keep them as evenly word counted as you possibly can. And to that end, let me go in and have a look. This is some more about essay structure. Look, while I'm here, this is not where I wanted to go, but while I'm here, I will talk about this. When we came back from consolidation week, in week 7, I sent everybody a free gift. It was this essay planner. So I just want to go to this page. This is page 4 of the essay planner, where I talk about essay structure. The introduction. So your introduction should include and introduce the topic that you're going to talk about. It should mention the subtopics, and it should explain the context or background or any key terms that you will use. And this is known as the framework. It should also, this introduction paragraph should finish with what's called a thesis statement. And this is your main claim. And your thesis statement, as it says here, it responds directly to the question with a specific answer. It makes a definable and arguable claim that creates reader expectation. And it clarifies by using words that convey certainty and confidence. Now, this is getting a little bit technical for essay writing, but academic writing is technical. We don't expect you to be experts in academic writing yet, but these are things that you can take on board and you can learn as you progress through the stages of academic writing. So in 2nd and 3rd year, this sort of structure will start to make more sense for you, and you'll find it more helpful, and you'll understand better what a thesis statement is the more essays you write. And I'm going to provide you some guidance on that now, so stick with me. It's going to be okay. Then, of course, there's the body paragraphs, and I've provided some more information on here on body paragraphs and the conclusion. There's also, I have my own website about this, which is called spielmethod.com. So you can go to spielmethod.com, and I provided some free downloads here for anybody who's interested in improving their essay writing skills. So let's go into, so there's a essay guide, and that free gift I sent to you, free gift, it may be a gift for some of you, others may think it's rubbish, that's okay. But if it's useful to you, that's good. I'm going to show you how I think it could be used to help you with your essay structure. So this is a Word document, and this is the essay plan. I'll just quickly show you. For those of you who opened that essay plan guide that I sent you in week 7, you'll recognize that this is what it looks like. Um, but I've modified it for today. So here I just want to show you some examples of how you might structure a 1500 word essay. This is a 1500 word essay using 3 paragraphs. So usually I try and do, if the total word count is 1500 words, I would say that 10% should be for your introduction and 10% for your conclusion. And then the middle part you equally divide between the subtopics that you're talking about. So for a 1500 word essay, 150 words is 10%. And so I would do 150 words as my introduction and about 150 words for my conclusion. That leaves you with about 1200 words to spend on your body paragraphs. And in this example below, this is one because assignment 3, the structure that Tanya's provided, is for 5 paragraphs. I've divided that up here. Again, 150 words for the introduction, each paragraph about 250 words, and a conclusion of 150 words, which comes to about 1550 words altogether. Now, 250 words for a paragraph is a challenge. It would be a challenge for me. So you're going to have to write clearly and concisely to keep to this 250 words. Some of you might think 250 words is a lot for a paragraph, but actually I usually see paragraphs, an ideal paragraph for this sort of essay would be around 300 words. So I would have to reduce my comfortable level to about 250 words for each paragraph if I was writing this particular essay. And let's now have a look at an example plan that I've done for essay structure of 5 paragraphs. And I've used the 3 Little Pigs story to illustrate this essay plan. So don't be shocked when you start to see reference to the 3 Little Pigs here. This is not an original idea. The 3 Little Pigs is often used to help illustrate essay structure. And you'll find many examples online of this sort of illustration. All right, so this is the essay plan. This first page is the introduction, and then I've got a page for each paragraph. This is my planning for each paragraph. So I've got a plan for paragraph 1, 2, 3, and so on, and then I finish with another page for the conclusion. So if I go back here to the introduction, here I would write the essay question. So whatever the question is that you've been given, I would put that here. And so this is my sample question that I'm going to pretend that my unit has asked me to answer. And so this question says, in this assignment, reflect in detail on your experience of building a home, including the theories and practices you have learned and how this has influenced your professional and personal development toward your goals. So this is a little bit like the essay question for assignment 3. I've tried to, draw on some similarities so that this will be helpful to you. All right, so for my introduction, I have to come up with a topic sentence. So I'm not going to, here in this plan, you're not actually writing your final sentences. These are, if you write a sentence at all, it may be a draft sentence. You might actually do bullet points here, or you can actually flesh out a sentence, your final sentences, if you want to get close to a draft of what your sentences will be. So here I've got, I'm using the topics. I've got a topic sentence. I'm going to provide some context. I'm going to name the subtopics, and I'm going to provide my claim, which is my thesis statement. This is the final sentence of the introduction. So this introduction here, this is about 150, 160 words. So this is about the right length for an introduction for a 1,500 word essay. So this is my topic. Learning to build a new home while keeping a good relationship with my neighbors proved to be a challenging journey. So here I'm creating some reader expectation about what I'm going to write about. Then I provided a little bit more context in my next sentences. I chose to develop three methods of building using a specific learning strategy for each building method. Along the way, I also developed 2 strategies for building better relationships with my neighbors. So here, I'm not sure if you picked up, but here I'm talking about my 5 paragraphs. I'm talking about my 3 different building methods and 2 strategies to build better relationships. And here are these subtopics here, and each of these subtopics will become one of those 5 paragraphs. So a paragraph on building with straw, and here I use an expert contractor to teach me how to build with straw. Second paragraph is building with sticks, and this time I'm going to try using YouTube to teach myself how to build a house with sticks. Paragraph 3 is building with bricks, and I'm going to talk about collaborating with a community of owner builders to learn how to build a house of bricks. Then paragraph 4 is developing skills in social intelligence to engage with my neighbors face to face. And paragraph 5 is, this is another goal, developing skills in virtual collaboration to help engage with my neighbors online. So these are my 5 paragraphs. So you can see that there's a lot of information here. And this introduction is telling my reader exactly what I'm going to be talking about in the body of my essay. And now my thesis claim, or the thesis statement. And this is my claim. And this is really telling people what I found after writing this essay. So after writing these 5 paragraphs, this is what happens. So you're actually telling your reader your conclusion in a way here in your thesis statement. So here's mine. Now this thesis statement is a little bit long, but bear with me. I found that learning and working with like-minded collaborators is the best practice method for me. In addition, developing my skills in social intelligence and virtual collaboration enhanced my relationship with both my neighbors and a newly cultivated online community of owner builders. These new skills and strategies will be of future benefit for ongoing home maintenance. So this is still all in my introduction. So this 150 word introduction, it tells the topic, it gives some context or some background, it outlines the 5 subtopics that I will talk about, and then it tells you what my findings are or what my conclusion is. So that's your introduction. Now I'm going to go through a couple of the body paragraphs, but I'm not going to go through all of them. This is what I'm doing here today, is trying to give you some ideas for improving the structure of your essay for assignment 3. All right, so here's a body paragraph. The first body paragraph is building with straw using an expert contractor. So here, this would be the topic sentence. Like if you're using teal structure, these 2 first points, subject and point, this is the topic, the T of teal. And then here, you're going to put your evidence, you've got to put some literature here that you've researched, and then your E for teal is your explanation, and you've got to explain how you use this evidence, and provide an example of how you use this evidence, and that's your explanation. And then you'll provide your linking sentence, which links on to your next paragraph. So, as I said, the subject of this paragraph is building with straw and using an expert contractor to teach me. And then I went on to say that building with straw is convenient, as you can grow your own straw. Unfortunately, straw does not keep you safe from torrential downpours or fierce winds. Now, that's a claim, so I need to support that claim with evidence. So I would do some online research. Well, I've done my online research actually, and I found that straw does not keep you safe from torrential downpours and fierce winds. But I need to insert literature, a citation at this point, to convince my reader that what I'm saying here is true. It's credible and reliable information. And then the expert building contractor, I'm talking about my methodology. The expert building contractor did most of the work, and I did not retain much learning. So I'm not sure if you recognize, but this is kind of transmissionist learning here. Having an expert tell you the information and you try and absorb the information. So just saying, you might like to put a citation here to transmissionist learning. All right, my second paragraph. My second paragraph is about building with sticks, and this time I used YouTube to teach myself. So using YouTube to teach yourself is kind of constructivism. You're using the knowledge that you have to seek out more knowledge, combine the knowledge that you have with teaching yourself. And so in this way, you're constructing your own knowledge. You're learning how to build with sticks by using your knowledge of YouTube, of researching information, and then you gather that information and you learn through constructivism. Um, so here, my point is that building with sticks required harvesting sticks from local forest floor, which was good exercise. Unfortunately, sticks are highly combustible and not very safe. The video tutorial I watched did not mention the downside of building with bricks. So here you would be putting you could find literature to support your claims here as well. And then in this essay plan, you would just pop your sources here so that you've got those ready for you when you're doing your write-up of this essay. And just finally, I'll do paragraph 3, which was building with bricks and collaborating with a community of owner builders. This time, building with bricks required learning to make bricks, which I learnt how to do with my neighbours. In fact, our local neighbourhood worked together to help each other make bricks for all our homes. The bricks proved to be a dependable, safe, and strong building material. And I would need to put in citations to literature to support these claims. You also might notice that working with your neighborhood um, and with other owner builders is like a community of practice. So this is social constructivism. This is working with others, bringing your knowledge together and creating knowledge socially. So in this case, I might like to do a citation to social constructivism. And this is how I'm demonstrating my knowledge of the unit learning materials, but I'm also demonstrating, my knowledge of how I've come to learn how to build with bricks. And paragraph 4 was developing my skills in social intelligence to engage with my neighbors face to face. So here I would provide an example, perhaps, of how I worked with my neighbors. In this case, you might want to provide an example of how you worked in the discussion boards with your colleagues. And paragraph 5 is about developing your skills in virtual collaboration. So look, this is just a very rudimentary example of how you might like to use this essay planner to plan your essay for assignment 3. I've shown you here how you can, incorporate citations, but also your experience into this. So you want to end up with probably, between 5 and 10 citations to literature, or rather 5 or 10 references. There could be more citations in your essay, but at least in your reference list, we would like to see about 5 to 10 references. Another mistake that people made, well, not a mistake, but so demonstrating your knowledge of this unit's learning materials is important. Wider research is great, but we want you to demonstrate your knowledge of what you have learned in our unit. So 80% of your reference list really should be to our essential readings. you're welcome to do some wider research, but only include about 20% of your reference list for wider research, because you're demonstrating your knowledge of what you've learned in this unit, not your knowledge of everything else that's out there on the internet. That's the point of these essays, to demonstrate your knowledge of what you've learned with us. All righty, well, look, that's as much as I'll share with you today. We've gone for 25 minutes. That's the longest video I've done in a long time. I'm sorry about that. But I think that was useful, and hopefully you found it useful to go through and consider this sort of essay structure for assignment 3. If you've got any questions, of course, ask them in the assignment 3 question forum, and I'll see you in the discussion boards during the rest of this week. Thanks for joining me today, and thanks for your patience for this very long Friday live, but hopefully you found it useful. Bye for now.